Hey guys, welcome to today's video where I'm going to show you my new Overland Ready rooftop tent. I was going to release this video when I got home from my trip, but unfortunately now I'm stuck in Denmark for another 2 weeks because we did test positive for this virus thing that's going around. So we're just kind of quarantining and we're going to be back soon to make more content for you guys. But I did have this footage from before I left, so I wanted to make sure I made a video of the Free Spirit Recreation rooftop tent. And I wanted to show you that you could actually put a rooftop tent using your stock side rails if you get the LFD crossbars. So I'm going to show you all that in this video. Thanks so much for your patience over this holiday season. I'm going to keep making more content as soon as I get home, and I'm looking forward to it. Enjoy the video. So if you guys didn't know, my wife is actually from Denmark, so that's why we're here for so long. We normally come every year, but as you know, these last few years have been kind of weird, so we decided to stay extra long this time, and that's enough of that. Here's just some footage from Copenhagen. Let's get straight into the content. And I don't recommend using your factory side rails unless you get a reinforced crossbar like these ones from LFD. These are steel reinforced ruggedized crossbars for your Lexus GX470. They're about 85 bucks each, and you can get however many you want. I ended up just getting 2 because I wanted to try out the idea before I got a full roof rack set up. Let's talk about the tent that I went with. I got the Free Spirit Recreation Odyssey 49-inch wide rooftop tent. This thing just looked like it would fit my purposes perfectly, not being too heavy, not being a soft shell rooftop tent. The hard shell is just so much easier to deploy and put away and everything like that. And that's what I really wanted to go with this time. So as you can see, the dimensions here, it weighs about 130 some pounds, so it's not super heavy, and the factory side rails can handle it. At least that's what the LFD website claims Toyota has said. So to get started replacing your factory crossbars with the ruggedized LFD crossbars, just start by undoing these plastic head screws like this. If you're in a rust belt area, these might fight you a little bit, so be prepared for that. But for me, they were no problem. Once you get those off on the front and the rear, you're going to want to take off this plastic piece here, and you start that by pulling back on it like this, and then carefully work your way around it until you can get it off, trying not to break anything. It's very delicate, so be careful. Now, when you're able to slide the crossbars out, this is kind of what it looks like. You just slide them out towards the rear of the vehicle, and you could take a look at how everything slots in. Just take the rear ones out first, and then the front ones should come out right after that. And as you can see, I'm just monitoring my baby while working on the car. That's dad life right there. Now you could set your LFD crossbars carefully onto your roof. For the hardware, it's a pretty simple stack. You have this nut that slides behind the side rails, and then you have a stack of washers that you want to make sure stays together just in the proper orientation. There's instructions on that. I opted to start those hex screws into the nut first, and then you could just lift the crossbar into place and secure it from there. So that worked out pretty well for me. Then you just kind of tighten it down. You're not going to want to slide these back and forth too much though, so I would recommend actually putting the crossbar in the place that you want it first, and then tightening it down. They don't need a ton of torque. So actually the supplied hex wrench or the supplied Allen wrench is sufficient to torque it down properly. So just go ahead and give that a nice tug, and that should be plenty of torque to get your LFD crossbars firmly in place. And this is what it looks like. Now let's pick up the rooftop tent. Alright boys, we're picking up the tent tonight. I'm at some FedEx facility. I've never done this before. It's very odd, but I got my little U-Haul here. Here's the rig. Alright, let's see it. Let's see it.
We want to put it on.
We might have to do it at an angle, huh?
Yeah, I was going to say, just put it straight up.
Yeah, we could do that. Should I try to guide it in? I think it's 221 pounds. And that's a full shipping weight with the pallet. As you can see, I got it back to my lair safe and sound in my little U-Haul after going all the way out to a FedEx facility to pick it up, which was kind of a fun experience. I left you these time lapses just to give you a little bit of an idea of whether you could unload it yourself or something like that. You know, I'm not the biggest, strongest guy in the world, but I think the average guy could get it out of a U-Haul. Anyways, this is what it looks like, kind of unboxing it and bringing it home from a FedEx facility. Here, I'm just clearing out some of the boxes and some of the packaging away so I can actually open up the tent and see what it looks like on the ground. Everything comes apart really easily and opens up, and it takes a little bit to learn. You know, it's not like you instantly understand what to do, but after a little bit of reading the instructions and things like that, you can get the tent up and out pretty quick. After you've unboxed everything and are satisfied that you didn't receive a damaged product or anything like that, go ahead and just get a couple of friends over to help you lift your rooftop tent onto your reinforced crossbars from LFD or whatever. I don't know if there's any other companies that make it for the GX, but these are the most popular ones generally. This is what the tent looks like when you're picking it up. It's actually fairly light, surprisingly so. We wanted to make it so that the opening was towards the driver's side, so we went ahead and turned everything 180 degrees before plopping it right on top of the roof on those ruggedized crossbars. It slid over really easily, and there was plenty of room to kind of shimmy it around and make sure that it was centered. I did actually spend a good amount of time making sure the weight was centered just to be safe and make sure it looks right. All of that stuff is definitely on my priority list. So now I'm just getting the hardware ready to install on the bottom of the rooftop tent. They give you a stack of washers, and there's a specific order in which they go. You just start with the lock washer towards the bolt head. Then you have one of those smooth washers that go towards the actual tightening knob there that goes on the bottom of the tent. Now you're going to slide the bolts along the bottom track of the rooftop tent until you hit the crossbar. Then, while you or a friend lifts up on the tent, you can kind of bring those bolts over the crossbar and onto the other side, because you do need one of these bolts on either side of each of the crossbars. Luckily, the tent's not very heavy. And this install was definitely a family affair, as you can see. But now you're ready to slide that other bolt into that track to go on the other side of the crossbar as opposed to the one before. And now you're ready to get these flexible brackets that kind of grab onto your crossbars. So basically you just put it underneath and feed it into both of those bolts like so, and then get your hardware on there, including that tightening knob. And you're going to just spend a good amount of time cinching each one of these down. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm really looking forward to getting a full review on this rooftop tent, so stay tuned. We'll see you in the next video.